Fascinating. Okay. To the phones. Boy, you'd be a great one for a debate.
Well, I'd be debating from an experiential viewpoint, not just a belief viewpoint.
Right.
So that's quite a different viewpoint.
Of course, that's what gives your side a fascinating twist, William.
Well, remember, beliefs are the big millstone around all of humanity. Fear-based beliefs are really what stop people from having OBEs. That's the thing I'm always fighting in my books and in my lectures and everywhere I go. We have become a fear-based society, and unfortunately, Hollywood contributes to that with this Constantine crap. And I mean, it's just baloney. I mean, that you watch TV or movies, and you'd swear that there's devils and demons under every couch, and it's not the case.
Let's go to the phones. East of the Rockies, you're on with William Buhlman on Coast to Coast. Hi there.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead, please.
I had an out-of-body experience, or maybe near death.
Sure.
I had gotten very, very sick, and I didn't know I was about to die. But I was getting ready to go to the ER, and I tried to stand up off the foot of the bed to finish getting dressed, and I stood up out of my body twice in a row, and everything became black and white. I felt light as a helium balloon. It was kind of dark, and I realized I just stood up out of my body. I tried to turn back to look at myself, and in a blink of an eye, I was still sitting on the bed and opened my eyes. And it started to happen a second time. And the weird thing is, as weak as I was, I couldn't stand up. I would fall over. I have to lean on the walls just to walk. So how I stood up, and then if I was out of my body, how I didn't fall off the bed, I don't understand. But I truly believe in OBEs.
What do you think happened to him, William?
Well, that's a classic OBE, especially low energy. A lot of people in the first year, their first experiences, and they're very low energy experiences. The black and white is very much the case. I generally perceive, especially after I initially make the separation, it's very much a black and white environment. But the low energy thing is fascinating because that's commonly reported. I talk about how to increase your energy level during an OBE, and that is because the reason that you're sluggish, and this is probably the number one problem in OBEs besides fear-based issues, it's because you don't have enough consciousness in your astral body. In whatever that energy body that you're utilizing when you were out of body, then the way to change this and to rectify it would just be to say awareness, think awareness now. And you would draw more consciousness into that energy body, and you would become lighter, and you would be able to move and walk. But this lack of mobility is a common problem in OBEs, and it scares some people because they don't understand why. They're out of their body, but they're very much sluggish, and or they're crawling on the floor sometimes. And the experience is not at all like the Shirley MacLaine, I'm floating above my body.
Right.
That's one thing I like to get across. We haven't discussed the realities of OBEs. Most OBEs are very mundane. You may roll out of your body. You may crawl out of you may sink through the and end up in the basement. It's not bouncing on the ceiling all the time, like you relate in your experience. But it's all of the above. Anything can happen, but often initially it's a low energy experience. And another thing is to move away from your body and to use an affirmation, awareness now, or clarity now, something that will bring more energy. And you will immediately feel more consciousness, more bright, more aware. And you'll be able to move very quickly beyond that room.
Why do some people, William, report being rammed back into their bodies upon realizing there's something strange going on?
Because of fear. Fear is the biggest problem. Remember, we relate to our bodies as us. It's sad but true. And because of that, many people, especially in the initial phase, they leave their body, and then the realization hits them, oh, my God. In our culture, many people relate that as death. And of course it's not, but that's the first thing many people think, oh my God, I'm dead, bang. And any random thought, if you're out of body, directed to your body will send you back. Though there's one rule in out-of-body exploration, and that is never direct your thoughts to your body. Forget about your body, because any random thought will bring you back.
Slam you back, won't it?
Slam you back, and very hard.
The feeling that you have right before you fall asleep, where you feel this jarring effect sometimes, is that because you are leaving your physical body and maybe you realize it or something and you come ramming back down?
Absolutely. Everybody's experienced that floating sensation, and then suddenly you're in a dream, let's say, and then suddenly you feel you've just fell from the ceiling all the way into your body. Everybody, that's a universal experience. And often we perceive it as a dream. We may have perceived it as I was flying or I was falling off a cliff or whatever. But actually you were out of body, and that's just your mind's interpretation of that transition back to your body.
Next up, let's go to our wild card line. Welcome to the program. Hello there.
Good evening, George.
Hi.
Hi, William. How are you doing?
Oh, just great.
I have two things real quick. My own experience, and then I wanted to agree with you on you're talking about the animals having a soul. Mine, George, was like yours. It happened to me one time.
Mm-hmm.
When I was 19, I thought I was dreaming, but I wasn't. I rose up out of my body, right through the roof. I could see the house. And it was enjoyable, and I kept going up and up, and to the point where I could see the horizon of the earth. And at that moment, like William said, I got scared. And I'll never forget the feeling of slamming back into my body and my heart just pounding out of my chest as I came out of it. And it totally freaked me out. And it was unlike anything I've ever had before, where I dream all the time that I'm flying, like along a riverbed with trees, and it's sunny, and it's beautiful. I even practice landing in my dreams, where I stand right on my feet. Those are pleasant, but this thing was unlike anything I'd ever had before. Is that what you guys have experienced?
Oh, absolutely. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the quintessential experience. It's universal. The thing is, people have to get over their fear. Once you get over those first few experiences, then you lose the fear and you can continue the journey. That's when it gets exciting, and you begin to control it.
I wish I could do that, like I could control my dreams of flying, but I've never experienced the part where I knew I was going up and way out. And the other thing I was going to tell you about is I saw it on the Discovery Channel or Learning Channel, one of those, was this girl who swore that she was, experiencing her cat that had died, and her parents had thought that she had lost it and even sent her to a psychiatrist and everything. And then they ended up taking photographs using infrared or something, and lo and behold, there was the cat in her arms. I mean, they had a regular picture and then those, and it was there.
Oh, absolutely.
Did you ever see that?
Yes, I have. I've personally experienced that because I was a cat owner, and my deceased cat used to sleep with me for, my God, a decade.
Would you see paw prints on the bed?
I could feel the cat literally walking on the bed. It was that physical-like. And it would snuggle up to my face.
Yeah.
And a lot of people experience this, and they don't talk about it because it sounds like, oh God, people think I'm crazy. But this happens all the time. Cats and dogs especially. They're very much loyal to their owner or their friend. I shouldn't say owner because, of course, that's not the case.
Right.
And they stick together. That's your buddy. And just because there's a little vibrational difference, they're snuggling up. Their astral body is snuggling up to your astral body.
How about sleep paralysis, as confused with astral projection, or vice versa?
Well, sleep paralysis is part of the prelude to an out-of-body experience. It's part of that transition of consciousness. You have to transfer consciousness to have an out-of-body experience from your physical to, of course, a higher vibrational body that people call astral.